That quiet inner whisper, your intuition, the compass of your soul. Do you still hear its guidance, or is its voice fading, almost lost amidst the relentless noise of the modern world? Carl Jung, who understood the delicate balance of the human psyche, knew this precious intuitive mind is under constant siege. What if, for many, it's almost too late to save it from being silenced completely? The time to take action, to protect this vital core of your knowing, is urgently now. We are taught to worship at the altar of logic, to trust only what can be measured, proven, and seen with our physical eyes. But what if this relentless focus on the rational, this dismissal of the unseen, is precisely what endangers your most profound way of knowing? Jung recognized that true wisdom arises from a marriage of thought and intuition. Yet our world increasingly starves one to overfeed the other, leaving your inner guidance weak, untrusted, and perilously close to vanishing. Consider the cost of navigating your life with this inner compass, broken or ignored. Decisions become hollow calculations, relationships lack true depth, your path forward feels shrouded in fog, and a deep, unnameable anxiety begins to set in. This is the silent torment of a soul adrift, cut off from its own deepest wellspring of insight. Is this not a profound and existential danger? To be blind to the very signals your own spirit is sending you, to live life by external dictate rather than internal truth. How can you tell if this vital faculty is already fading within you? Perhaps it's a growing difficulty in making choices that feel truly right, a series of inexplicable mistakes despite careful planning, or a haunting sense that you are missing something crucial, some hidden meaning in the tapestry of your days. These are not mere failings. They are often the distressed signals of an intuitive mind struggling to be heard, desperate for you to recognize its plight before the silence becomes permanent. Before we delve into Carl Jung's profound insights on how to shield this sacred inner knowing, how to amplify its fading voice and reclaim its power before it truly is too late, pause and listen. Reflect on a time your intuition spoke clearly to you. A gut feeling, a sudden insight, a dream that lingered. Did you honor that whisper? Or did you allow the noise of doubt or external opinion to drown it out? Share that moment of listening or failing to listen in the comments below. Recognizing its past messages is the first crucial action in protecting its future. That subtle, knowing feeling deep inside you, that quiet hunch that often whispers the truest path, your intuition. Carl Jung saw this not as some vague magic, but as a vital way your deepest mind speaks to you, a crucial compass for your life. But in our loud, fast world, a world that often only trusts what it can see and measure, this inner voice is fading for so many, almost drowned out. Have you noticed it in yourself? A sense that this precious guiding light is dimmer than it once was, perhaps even flickering on the verge of going out, making the call to protect it, right now, feel like a matter of urgent soul survival. Think about your days, filled with endless noise, endless information, endless demands for your attention from the outside world. Where is the quiet space for your intuition to breathe, to be heard? We are trained from a young age to listen to experts, to follow the crowd, to rely on logic alone. And in this training, the delicate voice of inner knowing is often dismissed as silly, as unreliable, as something not to be trusted. Is it any wonder that it learns to fall silent, that we forget how to even listen for its subtle signals? Do you remember times when you had a strong gut feeling about someone, or a clear sense of which way to turn, but you ignored it because it didn't make sense, only to regret it later? Those moments are like small wounds to your intuitive mind, tiny betrayals that teach it not to speak up so loudly next time. This isn't just about making a few bad decisions. It's about slowly losing touch with a fundamental part of your own deepest wisdom, a wisdom that Jung believed was essential for a whole and healthy life. The danger is not always a loud crash, but a slow, quiet fading, like a fire slowly dying from lack of air. The too late we speak of isn't necessarily a single dramatic moment, but that heartbreaking point where the connection to your intuitive mind becomes so weak, so buried under the noise and doubt, that you can no longer access its guidance when you need it most. And the world, with its constant shouting, its demand for quick, logical answers, only speeds up this fading if we don't consciously choose to protect what is so precious within. This journey, then, is about recognizing this silent emergency, this hidden crisis of the intuitive mind. It's about understanding the forces, both outside and inside you, that seek to extinguish this inner flame. And it's about discovering, with a sense of hopeful urgency, how you can begin today, right now, to shield, to nurture, and to reclaim the vital power of your own deep intuitive knowing, before its whispers turn into an unbearable silence. Let's pull back the curtain and look at the very things that are dimming your inner light, the forces that work, often unseen, to silence your intuitive mind. First, there is the constant drumbeat of pure, cold logic that our world so often celebrates above all else. If you can't explain it in a neat little box, if you can't prove it with facts and figures, then it's often dismissed as not real, not valuable. And your intuition, which speaks in symbols, in feelings, in sudden knowings that bypass logic, gets pushed aside, treated like a poor, unreliable cousin to your thinking mind. Then there's the way we are taught to always look outside ourselves for answers. We seek advice from experts, we follow the latest trends, we scroll endlessly for other people's opinions, hoping someone else will tell us what to do, what to think, how to feel. Jung knew that this habit of constantly seeking external validation starves our ability to trust our own inner compass. Why listen to the quiet voice within when the roar of the crowd or the confident assertion of an authority figure is so much louder, so much easier to follow? Think, too, about any times your intuition might have been hurt or betrayed in the past. Perhaps you trusted a gut feeling and it seemed to lead you astray, or someone you respected ridiculed your hunches. And these experiences, even small ones, can create a deep fear within you, a fear of trusting that inner voice again. So, you learn to shut it down, to ignore its messages, believing it's safer to rely on what seems more certain, more controllable, even if it feels less true to your soul. And under all of this, there's often a simple fear. The fear of being different, the fear of the unknown, the fear of being wrong. Intuition can sometimes guide you down paths that others don't understand, towards truths that aren't popular or comfortable. It takes real courage to trust something you can't always explain, to follow a feeling that has no logical proof. It's often easier, less scary, to silence that voice and just go along with what everyone else is doing, even if it means losing a vital part of yourself. Finally, the sheer, overwhelming noise and speed of modern life create a terrible static that makes it almost impossible to hear the subtle whispers of intuition. Your mind is constantly bombarded with information, with distractions, with demands. There's no quiet, no stillness, no empty space for your inner knowing to emerge and be recognized. It's like trying to hear a delicate melody in the middle of a roaring factory. The intuitive mind needs peace to speak, and peace is a rare treasure in our world today. What happens then when this intuitive mind, this inner oracle, is consistently ignored, starved, or silenced? The consequences are not just small inconveniences, they ripple out, affecting the very quality and direction of your life. You might find yourself struggling to make decisions, big or small, feeling a kind of paralysis because you no longer have that inner sense of what truly aligns with your deepest self. Choices become based on fear or what others expect, or a desperate kind of guesswork, often leading to paths that feel wrong, that drain your spirit. Without the compass of intuition, life can start to feel flat, empty, devoid of a deeper sense of meaning or magic. Intuition is what often connects us to moments of synchronicity, to a feeling of being part of something larger, to a sense of wonder and purpose. When that connection is broken, the world can seem like just a collection of random events, and you, a small, lost boat on a vast, indifferent ocean. That vibrant feeling of being truly alive begins to fade. Think about your creativity, that spark within you that longs to express itself. Jung knew that intuition is the lifeblood of all true creativity. It's the source of those sudden inspirations, those new ideas that seem to come from nowhere, those imaginative leaps that logic alone can never make. When your intuitive mind is starved, your creative well can run dry, leaving you feeling uninspired, stuck, unable to bring forth the unique gifts you have to share with the world. Perhaps the most painful consequence is a growing mistrust of yourself. If you can't rely on your own inner knowing, who can you rely on? You might find yourself constantly seeking reassurance from others, doubting your own perceptions, feeling anxious and unsure even about things you once felt clear about. This erodes your self-confidence, your sense of inner authority, leaving you more vulnerable to the opinions and manipulations of the world around you. And ultimately, living without the guidance of your intuitive mind leads to a life that feels less authentic, less truly yours. It's like you're navigating with only half your senses, missing out on a whole dimension of experience, a whole realm of inner wisdom. This is the living death that Jung warned against. A life lived on the surface, out of touch with the vibrant depths of your own soul, a state that becomes more entrenched the longer your intuition is left unheard, making the call to act now so very critical. But even if your intuitive voice has grown faint, even if the inner flame seems to be flickering low, Jung's wisdom assures us that it is never truly too late to begin the sacred work of rekindling it, of learning to listen once more to its profound guidance. This journey back to your intuitive knowing is not about acquiring some new external skill, but about gently, patiently removing the obstacles that have silenced it and creating the inner conditions for it to speak freely again. The first step is simply to value it, to make a conscious decision that this inner way of knowing matters. Begin to create small pockets of quiet in your day, moments where you turn off the external noise and simply listen inward. Perhaps you start a journal to write down your dreams, those nightly messages from your unconscious, or to record any fleeting hunches, gut feelings, or strange coincidences that catch your attention, without judging them, just noticing. Learn to pay closer attention to the wisdom of your own body. Jung understood that the psyche and the body are deeply connected. Where do you feel tension when you're considering a decision? What does your gut truly tell you beneath all the mental arguments? Your body often holds intuitive truths that your mind has learned to ignore, a sudden feeling of heaviness or a surprising sense of lightness around a person or a choice. These are valuable signals. Then comes the courage to trust, even in small ways at first. When you get an intuitive nudge, try following it, especially if the stakes aren't too high. See what happens. This is like exercising a muscle. The more you use your intuition and see its quiet effectiveness, the stronger and more reliable it will become. You will also learn to tell the difference between true intuition, which often feels calm and clear, and the louder voices of fear, wishful thinking, or ego. And remember, intuition is not meant to replace your thinking mind, but to work in harmony with it. Jung spoke of the importance of balancing all our ways of knowing. So listen to your intuition, gather your facts, consider your feelings, and then, from a place of wholeness, make your choices. This integration, this dance between your inner knowing and your outer understanding, is where true wisdom is born, allowing you to navigate life not just with logic, but with soul. As you begin to nurture and reclaim your intuitive mind, you will naturally want to protect this precious, reawakened part of yourself. This is where taking action now becomes an ongoing commitment, a way of life, a sacred guardianship of your inner sanctum. It means becoming more conscious of what you allow into your psychic space, knowing that your intuition thrives in an environment of clarity and peace, not chaos and negativity. Start by setting clear psychic boundaries. Learn to say no to things, people, or information streams that feel draining, confusing, or that simply don't resonate with your inner truth. You don't have to absorb every piece of news, every opinion, every emotional current that swirls around you. You have the right to protect your inner quiet, the sacred space where your intuition can speak and be heard. This is an act of profound self-care. Become more mindful of the environments you choose to be in and the company you keep. Some places, some people naturally uplift and clarify your intuitive sense. Others seem to cloud it, to create static, to make it harder to hear your own inner voice. Seek out those that nourish your soul, that respect your inner knowing, that encourage you to listen to your own deepest truths. Your intuition will guide you in this discernment too, if you let it. Make it a daily practice to honor the messages you receive from your intuitive mind. When it whispers a warning, pay attention. When it offers an insight, explore it. When it nudges you towards a certain path, even if it seems illogical, consider it with respect. The more you act on its guidance and acknowledge its wisdom, the stronger and more consistent its voice will become, transforming from a faint whisper into a clear and trusted companion. This relationship with your intuitive mind is not a one-time fix, but a beautiful, lifelong dialogue, a continuous unfolding of deeper knowing. Protecting it is not about building walls around yourself, but about cultivating such a strong, clear inner center that the noise of the world no longer has the power to drown out the wisdom of your own soul. This is the action you can take, now and always, to listen, to trust, and to honor the profound, intuitive guidance that is your birthright. And so, as our exploration into the delicate and powerful realm of your intuitive mind draws to a close, let the insights of Carl Jung settle not as finite lessons, but as living seeds within your soul. The world's loud demands may not cease. Its chorus of external voices may still call for your attention, but perhaps you now hear, with a newfound clarity, the quiet, persistent whisper of your own inner truth, a guidance system that has always been there, waiting to be honored. This journey was never about arming you against an external enemy, but about awakening you to the precious, often forgotten friend within. The fear that it might be too late to protect your intuition dissolves when you realize that every moment, starting right now, is an opportunity to listen more deeply, to trust more fully, to choose the path illuminated by that inner knowing. The static of the world begins to fade when the signal from your own soul becomes your most valued frequency. Carry this simple, profound truth with you as you move forward. Your intuitive mind is the quiet oracle of your soul. To honor its whispers, to create a sacred space for its voice, is to walk a path illuminated from within, beginning always in this present moment, now. This is not about rejecting your thinking mind, but about allowing your intuition to take its rightful place as a wise and trusted counselor, guiding you toward wholeness. The art of protecting and nurturing this inner compass is a gentle, lifelong practice. It is found in the courage to seek stillness amidst the chaos, to value your own unique perceptions, even when they differ from the crowd, and to trust the subtle sensations and knowings that arise from the depths of your being. Each time you heed that inner voice, you strengthen its clarity. You deepen your connection to your own profound wisdom, turning taking action now into a continuous embrace of your most authentic self. If this journey has resonated with you, if you feel a stirring to reclaim and protect your own intuitive knowing, then let this be a shared path. Subscribe and continue to explore the vast landscapes of the inner world with us. Share in the comments below one small way you intend to honor your intuition starting today, to make that action now real. And if these words might help another soul to hear their own quiet oracle, share this message for a world where more people listen to their deepest truths. is a world awakening to its own highest potential.